Alright, what's going on YouTube? This video is going to explain why you are probably still unprofitable in 2025. I think most people, it just comes down to this simple reason, and that is that you just lack the structure of an actual winning system. You just don't really have a set system in place, right? You just lack a back-tested, I guess, system. Because this is what it was for me, man. Like I didn't really have a set in stone plan that I would just trade every single day. Instead, I would just go into the market, just look at honestly like every single ICT concept, and just kind of develop a bias from there. Right, so just trust my intuition, and I would just take random trades. Every entry model was different. Every signature and price that I would take an entry off of was just completely different from the last. Right. I think that's a very common problem in trading, especially with ICT concepts, because there's just so many concepts. So it really all comes down to how bad do you want it? Like, how bad do you want to actually make a plan and stay disciplined to it? Because that is the only way you will see success. You can't just go into the market and look at a bunch of, I guess, just like trade almost a random strategy, um, based on your intuition, right? It's just not really going to work out like you guys think it might, right? And that's all good, right? I think very common problem. I feel like people don't really talk about this. But one thing you can do to actually, set a system in stone is obviously first off make a trading plan like that you actually stick to, right? Like step by step, you want to cover your risk, your average RR, like your maximum RR, I guess. You want to have a back tested win rate. You should have like at least say like 40 trades, I'd say, but take your time with this. It can be over multiple days. Obviously, don't give yourself analysis paralysis by backtesting 8 hours in one day, right? So backtested win rate and average RR. And also you need to know what your losing streaks look like. Like what is your biggest winning or losing streak? And that'll kind of help you identify how much you should risk per trade, right? So knowledge of maximum losing streak, right? Say you take like 6 losses in a row when backtesting. You need to set your risk so you are able to take 6 losses in a row, right? And if you stick to the system, you'll be fine, right? You'll be completely fine. It's just you can't tilt from this, and you just gotta know if you do not tilt from this, you will be profitable, right? Most important thing. Yeah, and then you should also cover your entry model, what needs to take place on the higher time frame, and just like a basic consensus of what your signature and price that you will enter off of will look like, right? Every trade should look very similar, and you should be honestly just robotic with it. So just every trade should look somewhat similar, right? But not only should you make a trading plan, because often what happens is people make a trading plan and then they never look at it again, right? So you need to make a trading plan and either do this by hand or on like a Google Doc, on Notion, whatever that may be. But if you're doing it online, my best advice to you is either make that your desktop wallpaper, or you should print it out and just like hang it above wherever you trade, right? So it's just literally visible every time you trade. And honestly, my best advice is you should look over that prior to every single trading day, right? That'll help you exponentially more than a lot of you guys know. Okay. So every single day, right? Every single day, you should review this plan, right? Every single day, right? Make it visible, set it as your phone wallpaper if you want to. just don't forget about it, because that's what happens a lot of times. People like make a training plan almost to cope with the fact that they're a randomized trader. They don't really have a set system. And then they never look at it again. So you gotta make sure you are looking at it every single day, or at least until it's like imprinted in your minds and you develop those habits of sticking to it, right? So I want to cover more in depth on backtesting. Just draw a little arrow there. Oh, okay, that works. You should be backtesting 5 trades a day maximum. Talked about this before. Honestly, if you do more than this, you might develop analysis paralysis and you're going to feel like at your lowest point in trading, even though you know so much, you're just going to feel really lost, right? It's happened to me before. I think it's happened to everyone watching this video before. Okay, so make sure you don't overdo it. You might be backtesting for long periods of time to cope with the fact that you're not a good trader. All the progress realistically happens live market, right? So honestly, my best advice is to just forget about trading entirely until you're actually in live market, and then just go all in, right? Don't burn yourself out outside of trading hours, right? Backtest trades, 5 trades a day minimum. Build good habits. Bro, if you gamble when backtesting, right, if you revenge trade when you're backtesting, you are cooked, bro. You're literally building bad habits in a virtual game, right? It affects you, live market. It does. It really does. So build good habits, because then you're actually gathering statistics. That's all that backtesting honestly is, gathering statistics. So you should not be gambling. You should not be taking any setups that are outside of your set criteria. And this will help you a lot, right? Backtesting should be to actually help you build conviction in your model, and gather statistics, right? So do everything here. Remind yourself that you have a set trading plan. I guarantee it'll help you. It helped me a lot. So that being said, excuse me, that's about it for this video. If you guys have any questions, DM me on Discord, or leave it in the comment section below. Yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys. Peace.